In this video, I'm going to share something about family constellation, and in the specific about an event that I am organizing for the 20th of August 2023 in Utrecht, so where I live, for a group of people. We will have 10 to 12 people, and we will do family constellation. So a lot of you that have been seeing me in the last year may have experienced family constellation in individual session using little dolls or playmobiles. What we are going to do with this group is doing, instead of using dolls and playmobil, using people. So we're going to be in the group. Everybody's going to receive a constellation, is going to be able to bring their problem, and the other people will be available to represent member of their family, of aspect of their life, whatever comes up. So I want to explain something about family constellation to refresh if you already heard it from me or from other sources, or to clarify if you don't know it. And then tell you something more about the way specifically it works, how differently it works when you work with a group of people instead of with Playmobil. The three most important principles of family constellation are called the three laws of love. And the three laws of love are, the first one is that everybody belongs. You are born in one family. The family is a system, so you belong to that system. Whatever system you are part of, you belong to it. Excluding someone can become really detrimental to the system and can reproduce itself in the future, meaning if there are people that are literally excluded because they are judged, maybe people that have done something illegal, criminal, and so there is a certain shame in the family, so they're excluded, but also people that died maybe really young and it's never talked about, or it's not even, nobody knows that happened. That's also a form of exclusion. And what happens is that the destiny of that person that has been excluded can be taken over, will be for sure at some time taken over by someone else in the family. So it's important to integrate the people that have been excluded. The second law is the law of hierarchy. There is an order in which we are born. The parents are born before the children. The grandparents were born before the parent. So everybody has someone that is bigger than they are, in the sense that they came before them. And when you have children yourself, then you become the bigger one in reference to your children. And it's really important because there is a role for each place in the hierarchy. And respecting these rules, the balance in the roles is really important, and that's the third rule. So when there is the relationship is big, small, so parents, child, the role of the parents is to give unconditionally, and the role of the child is to receive with gratefulness. There is the way it can go wrong around these two laws is that, for instance, there is some kind of weakness in the parents, and the psychic strength of one of the children can lead them out of love to take over the care of their parents. These happen in more psychological way, in being, becoming the confidant, or being the one the problem are directed towards. There's a lot of little ways where we don't realize and we take over taking care of our parents. Another way that we are disloyal to this law is by judging our parents, for instance. Any kind of judgment, negative view on the parents has to do also with this, putting yourself in a different position from being the small one in reference to the parent that is hierarchically the big one. So these are things that often we come across when we work with family constellation. There are also loyalties. So within a family, there may be people that are born and they have, without realizing, completely unconsciously, inherit some kind of loyalty to an aspect that has been played in the past in the family. And then you see that they have things happening in their life that are not the way they would like to. And the reason that happened has to do with this loyalty that they have unconsciously. But what is happening to them is influenced by these family bonds. There are these kind of really deep bonds that are created and that influence the way we look like. And with the constellation, with the work done, especially with a group of people, even more powerful than with the playmobile, you can see the representation of what is happening. You can really get the essence of what is actually happened, the deeper feeling, the deeper experience that has been experienced in the family by these people, and you can re-harmonize. So the work that is done is aimed to re-harmonize, to give a place to the one that didn't have it anymore, to put people in the right place again, at least in your heart. And sometimes what happens in constellation has an effect also in your family. People do react. I had situation where things happening in also with the Playmobil activated a reaction from a family member that was involved in this in the constellation. Sometimes what happens especially in your heart, and your way of looking at the situation changes. Your weight is lifted, and that's already a great relief, because of course the other person in your family have their own free will, and you're surely cleaning and harmonizing the energy also for them. But the way they will pick it up, it's impossible to foresee, and it can vary a lot. The way we are going to work is then with a group of 10 or 12 people. We are going to stay together one whole day from the morning at 9:30 until around 6 in the evening. And then we are going to have two big chunk of 3 hours where we work, and I think about 1.5 hours for the lunch. So the one that is gonna ask the question, have the constellation done, is gonna give a really, Sumi, a really, not generic, but really simple and simplified, without details, explanation of their problems. It could be something like, I would like to see the difficulties in my relationship, or I would like to see why I struggle with my career, or I have a difficult relationship with this person. I would like to understand why and how to fix it, for instance. Or I've seen a constellation done by people that struggle to sell a house, and they didn't understand why the energy was not flowing. You can start from all sorts of places, really, and then the constellator will ask some simple question, and with this question we'll gather information to decide which character to put in the constellation, to constellate. And then the group of people that is there, that all will receive the opportunity to do a constellation, will be the pool where this person can choose a representative called. So for instance, if I am bringing a theme and the constellation, well, they will always ask you to choose a representative for yourself. And the way you choose the representative is feeling, really looking around at the people that you probably do not know until that day, and you feel intuitively, really with your guts, who could be the right person to represent you. Is a really light choice. It's not something that requires a lot of concentration. You normally feel it. And the same goes also for the other representative that you will choose. Then these people will find themselves a place in the field, because when we start to work together, we open the field of energy where the information becomes available. And we give instruction to the field. When I say I'm going to ask my question, the field adapt to that. When I ask someone to represent me, the field allows that someone to have access to the information about how I feel. And And that applies also to the other representatives. So what happens is that to a certain point, there's going to be a little number of people in the space that we use to constellate, and they will just go in the feeling they have physically, emotionally. And then the facilitator will facilitate an harmonizing process. That's the best way to explain it. And there is always a kind of clarification, resolution, harmonization at the end of these processes. And the way they are done, because there are many different ways to work with family constellation, but the lady that is going to come from Italy to do this, it works in a really pure and essential way. So there's no too many words around, so there is no need to share too much, but it's a really impactful way to go to the essence of what you need to understand, to see, to heal that bit that you're bringing in into the constellation. The lady that is going to come is Calogera Genuardo, and has a lot of different experiences in her life, a lot of spiritual experiences, and a lot of experience also with family constellation. And she's coming to the Netherlands for a week before many different journeys that will take her all over Europe. And she has agreed to do these things for a group of my clients. I will be able to do this next year, but if you prefer to do it now, if you want to get this occasion, you can also come back next year when I will be doing it. Then you're really, really welcome. The cost will be €100. If you want to have lunch with us, we will also prepare lunch, and there will be a €10 for the lunch, but you can choose if you have any specific dietary requirements that makes you feel not comfortable with eating with us. Just take your lunch. We will stay in the house for the whole duration of the workshop. So for the whole day, we won't go walking around, because once we open the field, it's important that we stay in the field, that we keep the field open and alive. It has been proven really damaging and disturbing to break the field with people living. So, but we'll make it really pleasant. It will be in my house in Utrecht, where you may have already been, or otherwise you will receive the address in my living room. So it's also quite is a house, is a relaxed environment. And if you have any other question, please let me know, and let's connect, and maybe I'll make another video. Maybe we'll just have a phone call, the two of us. It's a new initiative, but I really feel strongly about this. That's also why I'm going to be trained to be able to do this also with people, not just with dolls. And I would really, really like if you take this opportunity to have this experience. You are also going to meet other people that are like you, living abroad, or really close to people living abroad. It will be in English. I will translate what Calogera will say. It has already been done. It's really harmonious. And as I said, there are so little words that it will be really easy to follow, even with a translation. It will be great. So I hope you will be there.